I've had 2 8th graders in just my homeroom shot this year. Shot. 14, 13 years old. And they shouldn't have to live through that.
Now at 5, a teacher's urgent plea for change so the students she loves aren't left behind.
You ready for this? Temperatures in the 50s coming to your doorstep, but how long will that last?
PreK programs begin next month. If you have financial challenges, the help you can receive to get your kids to school.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Good evening. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. First at 5, an Indianapolis teacher at Phelan Leadership Academy is fed up with the gun violence that almost took the lives of 2 of her students.
And tonight she tells RTV6's reporter Cameron Riddle if it's time for the city leaders to step up and take care of the students on the Far East Side.
The job of a teacher is already complicated, but for teachers like Jennifer Nagel, the lessons in their classroom have become unusual. In the past 2 years, she's had 2 students shot while standing in front of their Indianapolis homes. The 13 and 14-year-olds survived, but had to sit through class with bandages covering their gunshot wounds. The teacher of 24 years says it is beyond time for positive change on the Far East Side, an area already struggling with a lack of resources, including grocery stores. As the new school year is now just days away, Nagel is pleading for someone to help and care about the kids on the Far East Side.
I'm up at the front of my classroom here talking about the United States fighting for its independence and declaring it in 1776. And I've got this great 13-year-old boy desperately trying to take notes with a hand that's been all bandaged up with a gunshot wound. Where is the rest of Indianapolis? Where is the mayor? Where are elected officials? Come out and see us. Talk to our students. Ask them what they need. Come out and help us help them.
Nagel says she's speaking out now so the students she loves are not left behind. Working for you in Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And another child impacted by gun violence. A 4-year-old is now recovering at a local hospital. Someone shot her on the northwest side of the city this morning. IMPD says someone took the 4-year-old girl to a hospital around 7 this morning. Police say the child suffered a graze wound to the hand and is expected to be okay. Officers say they believe the shooting happened on North Mission Drive near 46th and High School Road. Investigators say they think someone fired several shots into a home and the little girl was injured by one of them. The shooting remains under investigation. Anyone with information should contact IMPD or Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast. Some much needed relief from the heat. Rainstorms have moved through our viewing area, cooling things down. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is here tracking how low the temperatures will go and for how long.
And the good news is it's not here for a day and then pulled right out from under us.
Good.
This is going to be a sustained, comfortable stretch. Now, the all-out weather party doesn't start until we're all done with the rain. Not everyone is dry yet. You can see the showers in Shelby County down into Johnson and Columbus and Nashville. All of this sliding to the south and east. We're almost there. This is the back edge then of the very heavy rain that we had yesterday and the showers we've had throughout the day. Once that leaves, the cooler air continues to pour in, and you can see the gradual clearing that's taking place as we look west over White River, and there's the Dolphin Pavilion at the Indianapolis Zoo. Skies will clear, and that north wind is going to work out 10-15 miles per hour. It will drive in cooler temperatures and drier air, lowering the humidity. Temperatures there in the low 70s right now will be in the middle to upper 60s at 10 o'clock tonight. The north breeze will continue. We'll talk about changes that occur gradually for the week ahead, and I'm going to do something very unusual to start my Weathercast coming up in a minute. You want to see what that is.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Kevin. New information just in. People living in a public housing apartment building in Muncie could be without power until August 15th. That's according to the Housing Urban Development, or HUD. The Muncie Housing Authority told HUD the outage at Gillespie Tower near downtown Muncie is due to an electrical issue. The power has been intermittent since July 5th and lapsed again July 18th. So that means people were in the building without air conditioning during the heat wave at the end of last week and over the weekend. Right now, the Gillespie Tower is only about 50% power, so that means people living there could have to deal with the heat for a few more weeks. However, the fire department and police department have certified the building as safe and able to be occupied.
And with PreK programs beginning next month, we want to tell you how you can receive free care for your child. The free On My Way PreK program has expanded to the entire state for families who qualify. RTV6's Stephanie Wade talks with a family and how this assistance has impacted them.
We all know it takes two incomes a lot of times to run a home, and so that extra expense for child care just kind of deter you from wanting to seek out, facilities and centers.
Paying for child care is expensive, and it might be the reason some families opt out of it for their children. But thanks to a relatively new state-funded program, On My Way PreK gives low-income families access to a pre-kindergarten education for free. And this year, they've expanded the program to the entire state.
Children who have been enrolled in a high-quality pre-K program are more likely to have some basic content knowledge around literacy and math. They are able to do things like problem solve, to persist when they have a problem, to try different ways to tackle it.
This really helps out people like Lisa Lawrence, whose granddaughter Giselle is attending day early learning at IU Health.
She'll be a step ahead of the game, and she'll be able to keep up with her peers when she starts kindergarten. It's helping our family financially, of course.
Now, there are some requirements you have to meet to qualify for the program. Your child has to be 4 years old by August 1st. The parent must be working, going to school, or in job training. And there are income requirements.
Here at Day Early Learning, they have several positions open at 8 locations across our area. To search for a provider near you, we'll have a link on our website at theindychannel.com. Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Thank you, Stephanie. And if you have a problem and need help getting results, contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Tonight, investigators with the Indianapolis Metro Police Department and the Marion County Sheriff's and Coroner's offices are looking into the death of an inmate. Police say 28-year-old Carrington Tompkins was found motionless in his jail cell overnight. He was taken to Eskenazi Hospital, where he was pronounced dead just before 4 o'clock this morning. Police say Tompkins had been in jail since Saturday. He was being held on drug charges as well as resisting law enforcement and driving with a suspended license. The sheriff's office says it is also conducting an internal affairs investigation.
A carjacking leads to a wild scene on Indianapolis's northeast side. Police rushed to the area of 42nd Street and Post Road around 3 this morning for a report of a carjacking. A Lawrence Police Department officer spotted the stolen vehicle on Shadeland Avenue and attempted to make a stop. When the driver refused to pull over, a chase began. During the brief pursuit, officers say at least one shot was fired toward officers. Lawrence police say their officers did not return fire and no one was hit. Police eventually took all 3 people inside the car into custody. And a bicyclist is dead after a car hit and killed the person on the south side today. IMPD says the incident happened near Madison Avenue and Stop 11 Road around 6:30 this morning. Police say they believe the cyclist may have swerved out of the bike lane, but the exact cause of the crash is still unclear. The driver who hit the bicyclist did stop.
New at 5, an update to a story we first broke this weekend. The landmark for Peace Memorial on the north side is now clean after someone wrote on it. The Kennedy King Memorial Initiative says it appeared someone wrote on it with chalk, so they were confident it would come off easily. And again, the memorial is clean tonight. The Kennedy King Memorial Initiative says the statements written on the landmark for peace were not derogatory and say they were simply the truth and an act of passion. The landmark for peace commemorates the site where Robert Kennedy delivered his famous words on the night of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination.
Still ahead at 5:30 on RTV6, having food delivered costs more with delivery fees and tips. But what's happening to those tips? Working for you, our Scripps team reveals a practice that some say needs to change.
But first, costly changes coming if you have an older air conditioning unit. The big change that could take quite a bite out of your wallet. Kevin.
And clouds and showers have taken a bite out of the temperatures. We're at 74 in Indy, 70 in Columbus. Notice western Indiana as warmer, but we are surrounded by comfort. We'll talk about how long it'll be comfortable coming up.
471-5151.
Welcome back to RTV6 News at 5. Work on Indigo's Red Line has moved into the home stretch. The 13-mile bus rapid transit route between Broad Ripple to the north and the University of Indianapolis at the south end is scheduled to begin operations on September 1st. And right now, work crews are focused on painting pavement and lane markings. And because of this, city police will strictly enforce no parking areas starting this week. On Capitol Avenue, the easternmost lane is a bus-only lane and no parking is allowed at any time. There is no parking in white hash mark areas, especially along College Avenue from 66th to 38th Streets. Much of the work will be done in the evening and overnight hours.
The Navy is planning to commission its new USS Indianapolis combat vessel at a northwest Indiana port this fall. The ceremony marking the ship's entry into the Navy's active fleet is set for October 26th at Burns Harbor along Lake Michigan. It is the fourth military vessel carrying the Indianapolis name. A Japanese submarine sank the second USS Indianapolis in July of 1945 as the ship returned from an island in the Pacific Ocean where it delivered key components for the Hiroshima atomic bomb. Only 317 of its nearly 1,200 crewmen survived the whole ordeal. The new USS Indianapolis will be based near Jacksonville, Florida. It is designed to be highly maneuverable for missions such as mine clearing and anti-submarine warfare. Retired Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens was remembered as a brilliant man with a deep devotion to the rule of law during a ceremony today at the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. Stevens was 99 years old when he died last week after suffering a stroke. Justice Elena Kagan, who replaced Stevens on the court after he retired in 2010, called him modest and humble. President Gerald Ford nominated Stevens to the court in 1975. Stevens will be buried tomorrow in a private ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery. From the Indiana State House, Governor Eric Holcomb announced he is directing flags across the state to be flown at half-staff tomorrow to honor Stevens from sunrise to sunset.
Costly changes could be coming if you have an older air conditioning unit. Residential and commercial air conditioning units could be using refrigerant that will soon stop production beginning January 1st, 2020. The Environmental Protection Agency will no longer produce R22, better known as Freon. Experts say it has a chlorine in it, and that is harmful to the ozone layer. There is a newer refrigerant that is more environmentally friendly. It's called R410A, but it cannot be used in systems that take Freon.
If you have a system that has the R22 refrigerant, be budgeting for a new one.
So if you have to switch to a new air conditioning unit, that could cost you more than $10,000. Currently, Freon is running at about $200 per pound. As the supply continues to fall, experts say the price will rise. Remember a decade ago when you could get a tax credit for buying a hybrid or electric car? Now just the opposite is happening in many states. Hybrid owners are getting hit with fees and taxes, including right here in Indiana. Working for you, John Matarese looks into this growing debate so you don't waste your money.
Hybrid owners say they paid more for their cars because they wanted to help the environment. Well, now many owners are saying they're being charged more for going green, and they feel states are penalizing them for their good deed. Vic and Donna Riley are big fans of hybrid cars.
Are we driving on gas or electric here?
Right now it's gas.
But the Rileys are now furious that their Prius will now be charged extra at annual plate renewal time.
To punish individuals who buy hybrid cars, I don't think it's fair. You know, we do it to save money, save the environment.
After years of subsidizing hybrid cars, 22 states are now going after them for between $50 and $200 a year. That's according to a Sierra Club report. State lawmakers say the cars are not paying enough in gas taxes used to maintain roads.
They want to turn it around and charge us because we're not using enough of their fuel.
Supporters of the new fee say they're not trying to penalize people just because they bought a hybrid or electric car. Rather, they say everyone who drives on the highways in the state needs to pay their fair share.
For hybrids, they use less gas than other vehicles do. So there has to be some mechanism in place for those users of the road who are still, using the road, doing wear and tear and things like that, to pay some portion of it.
But Prius owner Silvio Abenti thinks lawmakers are trying to get their Obama-era hybrid tax breaks back.
You gave us a break, and now we have to pay for it.
The Rileys worry people will now give up on hybrids.
Now the incentive is not to buy one because they want to slam you with that surtax.
The Sierra Club claims hybrid and EV sales are already falling in some states that have increased their annual fees, like Georgia, where a tax credit expired the same time a new fee took effect. Whatever you buy, don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese for RTV6.
In Indiana, there is a $50 annual fee on hybrid vehicles and a $150 annual fee on electric cars. State legislators say since these cars use less gas, they don't get as much in gas tax from them, so they compensate with a fee on hybrid and electric vehicles.
New at 5, we've just gotten word a country music legend will perform in Brown County. Tanya Tucker will take the stage at the new Brown County Music Center in Nashville on Thursday, September 19th. At 13 years old, Tanya Tucker became the youngest female to land the cover of Rolling Stones magazine with the message, quote, "You're gonna hear from me." She was then called the female Elvis. Tucker amassed a 15 #1 hits, including Delta Dawn. She's also been nominated 10 times for a Grammy. Tickets for the September 19th show go on sale starting at 10 Friday morning.
So I promised an unusual start to my Weathercast, right?
Yeah,
I've been looking forward to this.
This is probably the most important sheet of paper in the weather office on a daily basis. You see what it is?
Temperatures, highs and lows.
Yep, for the next 7 days, a 7-day forecast. So in our business, you rarely start a Weathercast with a 7-day forecast because it's the go-to piece of information.
Right.
But I'm starting with it because I love it. And there it is. There's your 7-day forecast.
Nice.
Stare at it, guys.
Look at that.
Dry, dry,
feels
dry, dry,
great
dry.
after this weekend.
Oh my.
Great week.
And we haven't even felt the full impact yet. In other words, the humidity's still dropping. Temperatures will be in the 50s the next couple of mornings. Lots of sunshine. You want me to keep bragging?
Oh, yeah.
Keep going.
Rain chances hold off until next Monday. Humidity doesn't really return on any big basis until late in the weekend. We'll come back to this because it's fun to look at. Humidity scale. Remember, we were pegging the meter. We were kind of had tropical air here all of last week as we end our stretch of 5 straight days in the 90s. Just great is how I'd call the humidity for the next few days. Not quite done with the showers yet. Rushville back to Shelbyville, sliding to the south and east, but that's it. These will continue to make steady progress to the east, and as the rain is leaving eastern Indiana, the clouds are breaking up in the western portion of the state, and we'll make a quick trade. Clear skies for showers. The fact that our wind tonight will be north 10 to 15 miles per hour should prevent fog. 70 in Anderson, 76 in Frankfort. More clouds to the east, more sunshine to the west, and that has its impact on temperatures. Low 70s in Spencer, 70 even in Greensburg. Say hello to Mariah or Maria. I'm not sure. I'd go with Mariah.
Yeah.
Mariah. She got a little toy there on the sofa.
Penguin.
But it is about time to jump off the sofa and get out and enjoy this weather. I love those ears. Good posture. As far as our temperatures this evening, they'll fall into the 60s by the time we gather at 11 o'clock tonight. 50s is where we'll be tomorrow morning, as cool as 55 in Lafayette and Peru. A nice refreshing start through the day tomorrow. If we see a few fair weather clouds, there could be a sprinkle or two in this cooler northwest flow that develops, especially in the northern portion of the state, but really nothing of consequence. This is what we'll look forward to. Upper 70s to lower 80s with lots of sunshine and that north wind. Wednesday, a couple degrees warmer. That's the trend in the 7-day planner to add a few degrees as we go through the week, but with the humidity staying low, it really won't be a problem. You won't walk out at all this week and say, wow, that humidity is back. Gradually warmer. Temperatures 85 as we get to Thursday and Friday. Then over the weekend, close to 90 degrees. The humidity comes back a bit as we get to Sunday. More humid then. We'll hold off on some thunderstorms until Monday.
You bookended it with a 7-day.
Normally when I handle the 7-day, it's with white gloves. But in this case, right in the pot. Putting the oil right.
Thanks, Kevin. Hey, only on RTV6, drama will be on display in full force tonight.
It's the Bachelorette Men Tell All episode before next week's finale. We've seen the season of The Bachelorette through Hannah's eyes, but tonight we are getting the men's perspective. We will find out exactly what that heartbreak felt like for some of the suitors.
Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. You're looking for your fourth lady, and I know that I'm not that fourth lady.
Well, as for the contestant Luke P., Hannah says she is over the drama with him. Here's a sneak peek into tonight's episode.
Honestly, did I sit around being like, who am I going to have sex with in the fantasy suites? No, I didn't. That wasn't something planned. That wasn't something that really was everybody's business to know.
Are you really telling me that you never said, don't judge me about the fantasy suites because I won't be using that for sex?
I did not say that. You didn't have one, so maybe you don't know, but the fantasy suites aren't used for sex.
Okay.
Tonight's Bachelorette Men Tell All special begins at 8 p.m. only here on RTV6.
And the Bachelorette finale, where all will be revealed, begins a week from tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
She's got the head shuffle down.
She's got it.
All right.
Well, most of us have a smartphone, but soon babies could be wearing smart diapers. Can't imagine what that would be like? We'll show you next on the news at 5.
Working for you.
Welcome back. Okay, so we have smartphones, smart TVs, smart watches.
But get ready for this. Now one of the largest diaper makers in the world has developed what it calls a smart diaper. Pampers says the days of peeling back a diaper to see if your child has gone to the bathroom will soon be over. The company says its Lumi line will track when your child pees and also identify patterns in when your kid goes number 1 or number 2.
And it works with an activity sensor on the front of the diaper. The sensor sends information back to a mobile app. It will also track your child's sleeping patterns.
Pampers says the new Lumi diaper will come with a baby monitor and a 10-day supply of diapers. The company hasn't said how much this smart diaper will cost. We've come a long way since the days of linen diapers, right? Yeah.
Fancy diapers.
Now we've got fancy ones, tracking. Coming up all new at 6 o'clock here on RTV6, data breach settlement. How to find out if you could be eligible to receive as much as $20,000 in the Equifax case.
But first, on the now indie teen drug use. Family and friends may not notice what's going on. So we talked to former law enforcement. They show us the disguised dangers. You're watching RTV6.